Welcome to this online masterclass for international students, where we're going to give you advice on how to start planning your graduate career in your home country. During this session, we're going to advise on how to market your international experience, explain how to plan and research international opportunities and recruitment processes, and share our advice on what to expect when you return home and how to prepare for this. The global job market is competitive. There are approximately 2.3 million international students worldwide, more than 4,500 international students in the UK, and more than 6,500 international students just in Newcastle University alone. You've given yourself an advantage by studying overseas, but you need to be able to explain why. While there are cultural differences in recruitment and selection practices around the world, some things are fairly universal. Enhanced communication skills and the ability to adapt and thrive in a new environment are among some of the many skills you will develop from studying overseas. You've also gained insights into a different culture, which could set you apart from your peers who remain studying at home. And in some countries around the world, the prestige of the university you've studied at is very important to job applications. They might not know about Newcastle University, so be sure to highlight that it's a UK Russell Group institution, one of 24 leading institutions committed to maintaining the very best research, an outstanding teaching and learning experience, and unrivaled links with business and the public sector. We also recommend getting as much experience during your time studying at Newcastle University as you can. From being involved in peer mentoring to staff student committees, having a part-time job or volunteering, the more active you are in student life, the more you will have to say in a CV or in an application. As the job market is so competitive, you need to start planning your career and getting experience as early as possible while you are studying. Graduate recruitment cycles vary around the world. It can help to find out when they are for your country so you don't miss out on opportunities or waste time looking when not much is available. If you're planning to look for opportunities in the UK first and are thinking of returning home as a backup plan, just be aware that those opportunities might be advertised at the same time. For example, UK graduate schemes generally advertise between September to November, which is similar to China, but in Australia, graduate recruitment tends to peak in March. Where to look? There are lots of different places you can start to look for opportunities. To get you started, we've dedicated a large section on our website to finding international jobs, which is broken down by continent. On these pages, you can access careers advice and resources to help you find jobs and companies in specific countries. Just go to ncl.ac.uk/careers/jobs/international jobs to see them for yourself. It's worth mentioning here that while content on the rest of our website focuses on the UK job market, many of the resources we link to also include overseas searches for specific areas of work. So if you're looking for work in a specific sector, take a look at our occupation pages too. One resource which is definitely worth exploring is Going Global. In this, you can find country guides which are written by employment experts based in country and are updated each year. They cover job search resources, hiring trends, industry overviews, professional and social networking groups, resume or CV guidelines, and interview tips. The Employer Directory contains profiles for more than 500,000 employers with operations throughout 196 countries. It's updated 4 times a year, and you can search using keywords, location, annual revenue, or number of employees. The Jobs and Internships database is updated daily and contains over 16 million vacancies. You can search for opportunities in English and the local language. Going Global is free for students at Newcastle University to use. You just need to log in from our website with your student details. To access it, go to www.ncl.ac.uk /careers/jobs/international jobs/going global. As well as going global, we link to a whole range of useful resources. GradLink UK is a specialist careers site for international students and graduates who are studying in the UK. It currently includes sections for China, Southeast Asia, the Gulf, Central and Eastern Europe, Canada, Africa, and India. Prospects and target jobs both include country profiles with resources for looking at jobs overseas, as well as articles which cover topics such as how your UK degree might be recognised overseas. GraduateLand and iHippo are international graduate careers websites which can be searched for internships, jobs, and graduate programs around the world. They also offer advice on recruitment and selection, including CVs and covering letters. GraduateLand also offers virtual career fair events where you can chat online with employers. On our website, you will find all of these resources and more, including some which are aimed at specific countries. For example, Lock in China is an extensive recruitment platform which specialises in supporting students to find employment in China. Recruitment processes vary depending on what you're applying for. For example, a large multinational firm is likely to differ from a smaller company. Some aspects of recruitment might appear to be the same. For example, being asked to submit a CV or attend an interview, but there can be significant differences in what these should look like or what to expect. It's important to make sure you understand recruitment expectations for your country before you apply, so you don't make any easily avoided mistakes. For example, you're asked to submit a CV and covering letter, but what format should it be in? Is it one-page resume style common to the United States, or do you have scope to include more detail over more pages? Do they expect to see personal details such as a photograph or your marital status? Or are those details not to be included, like in the UK? What kind of information should you include on your application form? Are they more interested in your past experience and the duties you carried out? Or do they want to see how your transferable skills can be applied to a new work environment? Do graduate recruiters in your home country tend to use recruitment tests, often referred to here as psychometric tests? If so, how can you practice them? What sort of format do they take? Are assessment centres common in your home country? What kind of activities might you be expected to take part in? Interview formats tend to vary for different companies anyway, so it's always worth trying to find out what to expect for a specific company. However, there can also be broad cultural differences to be aware of. While in the UK, you will be encouraged to really emphasise your skills and experience in any interview situation, in some cultures, this approach can come across as arrogant, and a level of humility would be expected. There can also be big differences in how you access interviews. In some countries, like the UK, most interviews take place after submitting a CV or an application form, or being personally recommended. However, employers in China, India, and Latin America may conduct first-round HR interviews or screening at a recruitment fair. This is very different to recruitment fairs in the UK, which are more about gathering information and making connections. In India, some companies will host walk-in interviews for individuals to attend, either at their premises or on university campuses. It's worth being aware of these types of interviews and events, and potentially contacting the organisations before the interviews are set to take place to see if you could be considered, or if they're planning to host more when you return. Going Global offers detailed information about recruitment processes for individual countries, including CV and covering letter guides and samples, as well as interview advice. Call into the Careers Service and speak to us if you'd like any support with the application process. Having connections can give your career a boost in most countries worldwide, whether for getting the right information or getting personally recommended. The common phrase, "it's not what you know, but who you know," is true of many occupational areas. So it's important to make a commitment to extend your network while you are here at Newcastle. Who should you think about connecting with? At university, you can make the most of employer events and recruitment fairs. We host many multinational companies on campus, and making connections here can help with an application back home. Other students have their own networks, which you might never have had access to without coming to university. As well as your classmates and roommates, you could think about joining societies to broaden your network, particularly of students with similar career interests to you. Volunteering allows you to connect with new people while also demonstrating and improving your skill set. Academic tutors and lecturers often have extensive networks, academic, industrial, and personal, which they've built up over years of collaborative research, conferences, and other networking events, which are all also activities you could consider taking part in to boost your network. Being at university also gives you access to a huge alumni network. Alumni from your home country can be a very useful source of information and support. They can help with career development and making contacts, particularly in markets with high numbers, for example, China and Indonesia. Through resources such as NCL Spark and LinkedIn Alumni, you can start looking at who is working in your home country and think about connecting with them now. Outside of university, you will already have your own network of friends and family. Even casual ties with people can be incredibly helpful with your job search. For example, your friend's cousin or your uncle's neighbour might have important insight into working for a particular company or know of someone hiring. Any work experience you have had so far will have brought you into contact with new people and broadened your network. If you haven't got much work experience, now is the time to think about how you can get more. Whether that's for 1 month or 1 day, you'll still be making connections. Social media is a great way to connect with people, and global professional networking sites such as LinkedIn are particularly good for keeping in touch with contacts you already have, as well as making new ones. Your home country may have specific sites which are particularly good for this. For example, WeChat is an important way to stay connected in China, and many Chinese recruiters use the platform to promote their opportunities. While you're here in the UK, it's important to keep up to date with what's happening back home, so you're not missing out on any changes which might impact on your job search. Keep in regular contact with friends, family, and former colleagues to get a personal insight into what is going on. Using social media is a very convenient way to see what's happening and what people are talking about. Following relevant individuals and organisations can be helpful for your applications, and it can alert you to new opportunities with them. Reading news sites, both national and international, will give you a broad overview into what's happening back home. You can also find news sites for specific sectors and industries. Finally, think about what's going on in campuses in your home country. Some universities have detailed open websites which will show events that are happening and offer advice around job seeking. It's worth checking these to make sure you're not missing anything important. You may have expected and experienced an element of culture shock when you arrived in the UK. Less students expect, but actually do experience reverse culture shock on their return home. This can be because you became accustomed to how things are here. It could be because of your own personal development, or because you're now looking at things from a new perspective. Or it could be because of significant changes in your home country while you've been away, whether they're changes in your family and friends, or changes to the social, political, economic, and cultural infrastructure of your home nation. To help you prepare for your return home, keep in touch and up to date while you're away. You'll have less surprises when you return. Stay connected with the friends you made while abroad. You'll possibly be experiencing similar things upon your return. It's important to talk to people about how you're feeling. This could be family and friends from home, or with the people you've met while you're here in the UK. Give yourself time to adjust. You might take time to settle back in. Don't put pressure on yourself. Finally, it can be helpful to think about what you've learned in your time abroad and how you've changed. Does it inspire you to do more travelling or gain more overseas experience, perhaps in another country? Whatever you've studied, spending time here at Newcastle will help you succeed in the global job market. We hope you found this masterclass useful. For further support, you can drop in and see us at Level 1 Kingsgate from 11 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. during term time and 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. during vacation periods.